I'm doing a car commercial in Melbourne next month. This month, actually. Is it June yet? No, next month. We're gonna do light drawing with drones in a car, in camera, in motion. So the technique for doing that is really crazy and requires a couple cameras. It's kind of like stereoscopic 3D, but it's long exposure in a lot of ways. So it's would be really interesting. I think we can pull it off. But that's kind of how I approach work. I just kind of will dive into it and, you know, at least you try, you know? And so we'll see how that turns out. I think it'll be cool. I think it'll work. I have a great team, again, a company called Airbag in Australia. I'm collaborating with them, and I think we're going to pull it off. I think it'll be really cool. Yeah, and then, you know, I think my work is very, you know, the projects that I'm doing are just all over the place. You know, there's print design, there's motion graphics, there's experiential, there's commercials, there's short films, and I just like to change it up all the time. You know, I'll go back and do a feature film, make holograms again, and do really techie things. You know, and that's what keeps me going. You know, is just changing it and learning. And I don't really need to be a master of one thing. You know, I would rather be, you know, a master of nothing, you know, and just have tried everything, you know. I really want to shoot like pornography in the infrared spectrum. I want to shoot connect porn. I want to shoot more with mirrors and convex and concave mirrors and like distortions, and perception manipulation is really interesting, and obviously psychedelic spaces and really weird geometry. I work with coders to make really crazy geometry that I then rendered in Arnold, and use really weird utility shaders to render just ridiculous amounts of detail, and using procedural ramps and shaders, and I don't know, it's never ending, you know. It's just I just want to be a wizard. What advice would I give for graphic designers who want to do more interactive design? I mean, first, you know, study the masters. So study all the great interactive designers. Learn from that, ask questions, really study their work, see how the design is kind of taken into the new space. And then just experiment, really collaborate with people that program and do that kind of work, and apply your own design to it. You know, your first time's not going to be as good, you know, but you just got to learn and grow and just try it. I think the best way to do anything is just to kind of educate yourself and then just dive in, you know. That's really the only way to do it. I think that there needs to be a certain fearlessness in kind of doing the work that you need to do. I've done a lot of work where, you know, I'll pitch to a really busy celebrity, and they will say, hey, you know, there's a 25-page document, I don't have time to read that shit. And it's like, that's bullshit, you know. It's like, sure you do. You're on your private jet with your iPad watching, you know, Whiplash, and you can, you know, read my fucking pitch. And I feel that way about, you know, I have enough time to answer emails, and I can make enough time to answer emails and help people, and, you know, do Skype calls with students, you know, like, and help them. And, you know, it becomes demanding sometimes. But I think it's worth it. I think my good friend Ash Thorpe has been running a podcast that he interviews people for hours at a time, and they discuss things. That's a great way to give back. I think I don't really like talking publicly as much as he does. It's a little more scary, you know, but I think that's a good way to give back, I think, is just to share, you know, just to share what you've learned, so people who are younger or, you know, just kind of getting into it can have that wisdom. You know, Sagmeister's really good at that. He talks at lengths about happiness and design process, and, you know, all of the greats who I look up to, like Sagmeister, Josh Davis, Michael Cina, you know, all the kind of the old Robert Hagen, Eric Dotsky, you know, all the old school. You know, there's so much to learn from them. I'm still learning from them, and so I kind of want to model my character after them in a lot of ways. So I have a lot of peers that I look up to, and who I wish to emulate. And so I just try to be a sweetheart, you know, as best I can. you got to believe in karma. You got to believe in luck. It's just like my career has just been really lucky in so many ways. One break after the next, and it's just like, you know, why is that luck happening? You know, there has to be an answer to that, and I think it's because I just have an open heart, you know, and I'm certainly incredibly humble. I'm incredibly chill. I'm incredibly giving. I'm incredibly focused. You know, it definitely takes a lot of hard work, like a lot of hard work. I think that there's people who either have it or they don't. You know, you have to be a bit of a freak to make it. All the guys that I mentioned, you know, Davis, Natsuki, Hagen, China, Sagmeister, they're freaks. They were born to do this. They work so hard, endlessly. They're always thinking about it. They're always doing it. It doesn't, to really make it in this business, you can't go half in. You have to go all in, and it's really, it's challenging, and there's so many times you're like, why am I doing this? You know, like, I should just be hanging out with my friends, you know, and enriching my life through other experiences, like, you know, and why am I destroying my posture, and why do I look so tired, and you know, the answer is because there's a passion and there's a purpose. You know, I believe, as so many others do, that I was put on this earth to do this. This is what I'm supposed to be doing, and so that makes it a little easier to just work as hard as I do and sacrifice, you know, my health and my, you know, opportunity to you know, chill out on the beach with my sangria, you know, and, you know, but I just, this is what I've been put on earth to do, and I just believe that, and that makes it easier. So I think that answered your question.
Yeah.
I think it did.